Hey, everybody. Welcome to Game Mess Mornings with me, Jeff Grubb, your host from GiantBomb.com. Thank you for tuning in. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Xbox, trying to explain its Game Pass price increases, and the developer responsible for one of the most famous cameos ever is stepping away. It's going to be a good one, because we have Janet Cho on the show. Jan, how are you doing?
Fantastic, Mr. Grubb. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's my goddamn month for multiple reasons, so I'm going to choose to have a good day, Grubb.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, right? You just got to select. Hey, today I'm going to go for it and
exactly
be positive or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was a good day for Grubbies yesterday. Let me see here. I'm expecting a weird delivery, so I just got to keep an eye on my phone. Nope, that's good. Yeah, I am feeling pretty good. You know, the Tigers won. The Lions are going to play this weekend. They're doing real well. So sports are good for the most part. That's fun. I conquered the man breaker.
Yes.
I got up and over the man breaker. Yes. I was very, very, very relieved to do that. And you know what? And I came out the other side being like, man, that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do that. So, nice. And the game's not even over yet. And a big lady gave me uppies, Jan. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a big lady just picked me up and she cradled me in her arms. It was a moving moment for me. And now I got to go up a train that's crashed. And then I think maybe the game will be over. It's hard to tell.
You're going to have an Uncharted 2 moment.
And his name's Nate. So, yeah, just throw Nate in a train and you got yourself a video game, apparently.
There we go.
But yeah, that game's moved up my Game of the Year list for sure.
Grubb, I will say I had a slightly worrying encounter last night. And this is due to living in the Bay Area and it being Thursday night football and the Niners were playing.
Yeah.
I was taking the pup out for her nighttime walk. And because I live in an apartment, I hear in the courtyard someone just yelling, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you going to do this to me right now?" And then I thought, oh no, there's like a domestic thing happening right now. Do I have to report something? Should I call the police? Is this going to get bad? And then I hear a different apartment cheering. And then the guy that was originally yelling starts cheering. So I put one and one together, two and two together, and then, Niners. Got it.
Yep, Niners. Yeah, they should not have played as well as they did in that game. They had so many people hurt, but hey, that's how it goes when they're playing against LA. They always kind of show up for those games. All right, we should explain ourselves and what we do here. We're Giant Bomb, video game doofuses, independent games media. We are out here on our own, except we have you. We have you. You have our back. You go to giantbomb.com/join. You became a premium member. And that has really gone a long way in ensuring we can continue to do what we do. We really appreciate the support. We really appreciate you putting your money where your mouth is and saying, hey, I want coverage that can stand on its own. And here we are. We got your back as well. If you want to become a part of this community in a financial way, go to giantbomb.com/join, become a premium member. And of course, you are a member just by showing up, watching this show. And if you want to just tell a friend about it, that also helps. We really appreciate any time anyone gets the word of mouth out on the streets. As far as this show goes, most weekdays, I, Jeff Grubb, will help piece your gaming life back together. That includes breaking news and maybe even some of our own original reporting. For all these topics, I'll get the input of a bona fide expert who will make me look smart. If you are watching live on Twitch, welcome. You can always listen to the show later on podcast feeds by searching for Game Mess Mornings or find the RSS feed on giantbomb.com. You can also catch the show later with chapters and timestamps on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. All right, we have a lot to get into, so let's start the morning mess with a couple of reviews. We'll do this Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny reviews first. I started playing this game a little bit, mostly because, the kids like SpongeBob. Addie loves SpongeBob. Emmy pretends she doesn't, but she always watches it with Addie, and she calls Patrick Star stupid head the whole time. But I could tell she likes it. And this is a Diablo-like, which I guess I knew, but I didn't know exactly how much it was just going to be a Diablo with Nicktoons characters. It's very much that. Mm-hmm. It's got a 7.3 on OpenCritic, 3.5 stars through Hardcore Games. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny.
Grubb, maybe hold on a second. You're becoming a robot.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's switch up the rooms. not the rim. Let's go to a different thing up here. I'm going to set this to automatic instead to what happens there.
Hello?
Okay, is that any better?
Much better. Just start from
Okay.
the top of Nicktoons, Grub, and I'll
Sounds
cut out
good.
this.
All right, so we have a couple reviews here. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny reviews are in. I've been playing this game. It's a Diablo clone. I am pretty into it so far. It's delivering kind of what it promises to do. I think this will be one the kids will be able to get into as well. It's simple, but it also has a nice sort of progression where you are getting gear and upgrades really fast, and that feels good. It has a 73 on OpenCritic. 3.5 stars from Skeith Roosh at Hardcore Gamer, who says Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny brings forward a spiritual successor to the classic Nicktoons Unite franchise, but does it live up to the legacy? And it's kind of shaky on that. 6.5 out of 10 from Maddie Fisher at DualShockers, who says Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny is loaded with nostalgia, callbacks to famous scenes and lines, but ultimately isn't as good as it could be. The limited fantasy setting, monotonous combat, and underwhelming world map are helped slightly by its wonderfully authentic voices and fun story. If you grew up watching these cartoons, chances are you'll be charmed by the respect paid to them like I was, but find that the quest itself is not quite as good as just watching your favorite episodes again. It got an 8.5 out of 10 from Kelly Gray at Gaming Nexus, who said, Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny is exactly what you're expecting it to be, and probably more, with standard ARPG elements mixed with classic characters from the Nickelodeon universe. This game straddles the line between compelling gameplay and frivolous fun, a great blend of nostalgia and gaming. I think for our audience, I think that we could just kind of quickly give an idea of like what to expect here by saying it's a Game Mill game. It's a game from
Sure.
Game Mill.
Okay.
And, they did get the voices, and you could tell, okay, this is where we're going to spend our money.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to just try to get like some solid action, RPG elements in here. And then the rest of the game is going to feel a little cheap. And I kind of get it with licensed games. I've always got it with licensed games that there's always a bargain there. You always have to make some sacrifices, at least if in most cases. And this one, I'm like mostly am on board with the sacrifices they're making to deliver decent writing, great voices, and then a gameplay experience that is pretty straightforward but isn't offensive in any way. So
Yeah.
pretty interested in this one.
Yeah, Grub. I've been mildly curious in this as well. Also hearing that a lot of the actual voice talent is coming in for this game is a big appeal. I don't want to make the excuse of, oh, this is a licensed game, and it's targeted towards kids, and kids don't deserve good games. They just get slop. But in comparison to the level of licensed games, specifically SpongeBob games, I was getting as a youth, barring the 3D platforming
Battle for
games.
Bikini Bottom was the exception. Yes,
Yeah.
not the rule.
Yeah, that was the exception. There were a ton of 2D games that were absolute trash for the longest time. And this features more than just SpongeBob and Patrick, right? This features like a whole
Yes.
slew of Nicktoons, right?
Yeah. There's Leonardo's in there, so there you go. And it's I don't know which voice they're using. Probably a more modern one. There is the Fairly Odd Parents. Which
Oh,
one?
hell yeah.
Which
Timmy
one? Which are the
Turner?
ones? Are those the ones with there's the fairy godparents? Is that
Yes.
what that is?
Yes,
Okay, yes,
yes.
that's it. Yes, okay. He's like the storyline character. And,
Okay.
like that kind of like kicks things off, and then once you're playing, you can immediately choose who you want to play as. There's a few others in there, but yeah, it is squarely from that era of like SpongeBob afterward of
Got it.
Nicktoons. Again, I think this is going to be just fine for me playing with the kids. We will likely not like go through the whole game, but maybe
Yeah.
a couple of sessions playing it, I could see that working.
I also think the Diablo formula can work very well for a game targeted towards younger audiences, just because like, oh, this color is rarer than this one,
Yes.
and like that means the gear is better. All right, cool, SpongeBob.
Yep, it just gets you on that progression treadmill real fast, and you can feel real good about that. You can just see the numbers going up, and kids can understand that as well. You know what? Everyone can understand numbers going up.
And Grub, I think the biggest thing to think about with this is the And we talked about this recently with older millennials being targeted because they may have a little bit more money to spend. But this
Yeah.
could be a fun way for parents like around our ages to share something that was beloved by them with their kids, or I don't know, nieces, nephews, other young people in their lives, maybe the dibs in their lives.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. This is a good way. And I think there's a handful of these cartoons, of these shows that people do hold very dear and close and would want to share with the next generation. And yeah, you're right. This is cross-generational in that way, while also still appealing to the people that may or may not, but may have money right now to spend. It's probably easier to convince a parent to spend money on something that the parent recognizes than, say, I guess I don't know. If I don't recognize it, how would I even know what to say here? I was going to say K-pop Demon Hunters, but that one's so
Sure.
ubiquitous that doesn't really work.
If I could
yeah, go
ask
ahead.
someone to run a poll in the Twitch chat real quick, and the question is mayonnaise an instrument? That's it.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Next reviews are in for a Lego Party. We're a little bit late to these reviews, but I figured we'd check this out because we're going to be playing the game today. It's got an 82 on OpenCritic, 8 out of 10 from Dalton Cooper at GameRant, who says Lego Party is a fun party game that does a great job of combining Mario Party style gameplay with the Lego brand. An 8 out of 10 from Tristan Ogilvy at IGN, who says creative, colorful, and consistently a consistent crack up. Lego Party is purpose built to turn any boring old night into a block party filled with belly laughs. Man, Tristan going off there. 8.5 out of 10 from Ethan Krieger at DualShockers, who says Lego Party stands tall as one of the best games ever in the competitive board game style genre. Sure, it's derivative of Mario Party, but it also improves on many games in that series in a multitude of ways. And I think that last review is the review for this game. I think that's kind of like the definitive statement for this game. It is derivative of Mario Party and improves on Mario Party in a multitude of ways. We'll be spending some more time with it today so we can really show this off. But you played it at Summer Game Fest, and immediately you kind of came away singing that exact sort of tune.
Yeah,
there's your trophy.
I won this trophy. This is my prized possession here.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Lego Party, from the little bit that we played of it during Summer Game Fest, it was really entertaining, really snappy. Also different styles of mini games than you would normally see from a Mario Party. And sure, some of these reviewers are saying it's derivative of Mario Party, but I think because of the Lego license, that also gives them more creativity and more freedom to explore different types of games even. And also, I love getting bricked up at a party.
Oh, yeah. That's what I live my life to do. But yeah, I think you're right. Like, just being a Lego game, it's almost like Lego video games are supposed to be derivative. They like take other things and like then you redo them in Lego form. Like, that's almost the whole idea of Lego for a lot of people. So yeah, it really just works. That kind of gives them a lot of leeway, and they're stretching their legs here. And then they're also doing things like making the gameplay snappier, which Mario Party still refuses to do. So yeah, I think that this continues to be like a game that I'm pretty excited about. I will play it with the kids, but I'm excited to play it on the site and see how it goes.
Also, if this is cross-platform, Grub, this is going to be huge because there aren't a lot of like big party games that are easy to play with other people. And not everyone has a Nintendo Switch 2 or wants to shell out for a copy of Mario Party, whichever one we're on right now, because they don't want to be tortured by their friends. But for the most part, from my understanding, Lego has not hurt anybody except for when you step on a loose piece on the ground.
Yeah, and you kind of made me think like, oh yeah, like shell out for Mario Party. Wait, how much is Mario Party? I think those are all still $60. This game is $40, and you can get it on Steam right now for $36 because it's 10% off. So it's like, okay, not only is it an alternative, it's a more affordable alternative, and it's not like some generic bullshit. It's Lego. Yeah. Everybody loves Lego. It feels like such a steal. And also, that feels like the right price for the kind of game this is. I think Mario Party should probably be that price. It's not going to be because it sells at that higher price, and it sells very, 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 very well. I could put like 15 more varies in there. Like the last couple have been north of 15 million copies each. So, yeah, Nintendo's not going to lower the price. But coming in that space, competing and offering up something that does improve on it and is also more affordable, kind of a slam dunk in my opinion. I hope Lego Party does very well But we'll see. Mario Party does have just a lot of momentum and kind of takes up a lot of the mind space there, where I think a family's just like, oh, Mario Party, I recognize that. That was there when I was a kid. Here's the new one. It's so easy just to pick that up when you get a system.
Totally.
But yeah, again, I hope Lego Party has a chance of breaking through a little bit. All right, let's keep going here. Xbox kind of is commenting or responding to the backlash about raising Game Pass prices. This is a quote from someone at Xbox. Price increases are never fun for anybody. That's the headline. This is from Eddie McHugh at GameSpot. Microsoft is raising the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass, and the company has now attempted to defend the hikes. Speaking to The Verge, Microsoft Director of Gaming and Platform Communications, Dustin Blackwell, said, "We understand price increases are never fun for anybody, but we're trying to reinforce by adding more value to these plans as well." He added, "It's something we don't take lightly, and we're listening to the feedback of players and the community to try to provide them with more of what they're asking for." For Game Pass Ultimate, this is no longer a quote, Microsoft added more benefits to the membership like Fortnite Crew and Ubisoft Plus Classics, along with the improved streaming for Xbox Cloud Gaming. The membership rate is going up to $30 a month from $20 a month, representing a $50% price hike. Jan, I guess in some regions it was a 100% price hike. Apparently that's the case in Brazil and a handful of other places. And Brazil was that one space where it's like, oh, cloud gaming's really working there. So here's your improved cloud gaming, Brazil. Fuck you, pay me. This is kind of, that's the extent of kind of what they're saying, but I think it's almost weird that they are out there trying to defend or explain it. It's like, yeah, we all get that, like, you waited until you had a bundle of things to stuff into Game Pass, the Xbox Cloud Gaming improvements, which had probably been ready for a while, but they held those back so they could pair it up with Ubisoft Plus Classics and the Fortnite Crew. And it's like, okay, now can they, like, now that we're doing that, can we get away with $30 a month? Them saying give players more of what they're asking for, I've not been hearing a lot of people asking for those things, Jan. Now, people that do ask for Fortnite Crew probably just pay for Fortnite Crew, and I'm sure those people who are like, oh, I was paying for Xbox Game Pass and I was separately paying for Fortnite Crew, they might actually feel like they're getting a deal here, because they will actually end up saving money, because it was like $20 for Game Pass Ultimate, $12 for Fortnite Crew, so you save $2, and now you get Ubisoft Plus Classics on top of that. You could talk yourself through that if you are in that very narrow band of people who was already subscribing to all of these things or was considering it. I think the vast majority of people are like, I want to be able to play games online, and then I like the idea of day one games, and that is harder to accept at $30. And I don't think my Xbox can come out and talk their way out of that or make that feel any better. So I kind of wonder why they're even trying.
Yeah, Grub. Slightly related on social media, like TikTok, for instance. Whenever you see an ad in your feed from a big company like Panera or PlayStation, even, generally the comments will be turned off because you want to avoid any type of negative scuttlebutt that may arise.
Yeah, however, people always bring their specific beefs into any comment section related to that company. Yeah,
exactly. This morning, I woke up scrolling through the feeds. I came across an Xbox ad talking about Xbox Game Pass, and they did not have the comments turned off. All of the comments are just bashing Xbox, saying, hey, I'm canceling Game Pass. I'm talking about the BDS movement, talking about how this is such a waste of money, calling Xbox or people at the very tippy top of Xbox running the business a bunch of poo-poo heads. Grub, I feel like this person may have gone to the Randy Pitchford School of PR, which you should have rethought your education, because it's so easy to shut the fuck up, Grub. It's so easy to not say anything.
Especially when your defense is just reiterating the thing that everyone already understood you were doing, which is stuffing more stuff in there so that you could justify raising the price. Yeah, we all get that. We all saw that. We all understood that you were trying to position this thing to seem more valuable. and everyone was or had already decided that's not for me, or I don't care about those things, and that's why they're mad, because they're like, the way I see it is $10 more on top of the 20 I was already spending, and that's all I care about, and that's all most people probably should care about. So you're not going to change the minds. You're not. I don't know. It seems futile for a big part of this. We did get a few more like tidbits. Things are kind of like trickling out. Things that that they didn't say up front or were maybe hidden, or things like that. PC Game Pass was not in Microsoft's image that they were sharing, their infographic about exactly what was happening. That went from $12 to $16.50, I believe it is. Yes, $16.50 per month. Let's see here. And one of the new perks is access to around 50 more Ubisoft games. So they're including that in the PC Game Pass as well. Yeah,
that's just Assassin's Creed games then?
It's going to be a lot of older Assassin's Creed games, Far Cry games. And, there are people who will be into that. But again, it's like people have likely already bought and played those games on deep discount because it's Ubisoft. It's like that. The value of Ubisoft Plus Classics is greatly diminished because everyone understands if you wait a month, you can get that game for $12.50 or whatever the cost was of the additional cost of a Ubisoft Plus Classic subscription would be. So it's just like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. That does bring us, though, to the next story, which is another little tidbit here out of Xbox. Xbox quietly nuked the Game Pass Call of Duty discount. This is from Ethan Gotch at Kotaku. Players are still discovering new ways in which their Xbox Game Pass subscriptions are getting worse. Call of Duty is the latest target, with a 10% discount on Call of Duty points and add-on content like the Black Cell Premium Battle Pass bundles. While small, the savings can quickly add up for dedicated fans over the annual life cycle of a new entry in the series like Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So basically, you are a Game Pass subscriber. Because of that subscription, you got a discount. Like, you actually get a discount if you buy a lot of games straight up. You're like, okay, I got this game on Game Pass, but I want to just own it long term. Well, Game Pass would give you a discount. The same thing was happening for Call of Duty's in-game microtransactions, and now that 10% discount has gone away. So it's like just nickel and diming. They're not just nickel and diming. They're also like, would be a 25 centing. They're raising the price in a big way over here, and still nickel and diming over on this other side of like, hey, 10% discount is going away. We need those margins as much as we possibly can. So it's like, yeah, that's just one more thing that sort of adds up. And I had they done this apropos of nothing, had they done this, I think 6 months from now or 6 months ago, and it's like, oh man, that stinks. It probably would not have hurt as much, but adding it on top of the pile feels just like another straw on the camel's back. And it continues to tell the story. They have these big brands and they want to make as much money from them as possible, and anything else just isn't as important to them. Making new games, even Phil Spencer going out there in the past week in Tokyo Game Show, wherever he was, saying, hey, people ask us about Crimson Skies. It's, bro, shut up, man. We don't want to hear it anymore. We know what you are. You're the Call of Duty Minecraft company, and that's what you're going to be.
Yeah.
And the moves like these really reinforce that.
Yeah, and I don't know why Phil is purposely stepping on these rakes, and Phil has always been very kind with his time with us. And I understand he has a job to do, but of course, there are things where maybe you don't have to talk about that. For a lot of people, Grub, not a lot of people, but this also fits into that Venn diagram of, hey, you like Fortnite, you like Ubisoft, you already have Game Pass. Maybe you can fit into this very teensy tiny part of the Venn diagram. And now with the Call of Duty folks, this could have been an extra bonus to like get the game sooner or whatever, or just get it cheaper. And now that's gone. I don't see the value in any of this, Grub. Like none of this makes sense to me. You're raising the prices of the consoles, and the consoles are already like a dwindling market for Xbox specifically. And like the saving grace was Xbox Game Pass on the console itself, on the PC, and now that's going up. I would maybe feel bad if Xbox was a small company and saying like, hey, we got to do this to survive. We got to do this to make it through this like hard time for us. Like if if they were us, maybe, and we had to be like, sorry guys, we got to raise the price of premium just a little bit to keep food on our families. But this is a company that is actively investing billions of dollars into AI, and that is just shit that I don't think anyone wants. And we talk a lot about your regular decular Xbox console people. I don't think they want any AI involvement in their consoles. I don't think they care for that. I'm going to speak for them. I don't think it matters to them when it comes to playing console games. And it must really, really suck to be an Xbox specific person and seeing the walls closing in around you and them just like pouring slop onto you, and not even the fun, cool slop.
Yep. There's definitely a lot of like, it's not even frustration, it's resignation from a lot of people in that community. The ones that are like that haven't already lost their minds or whatever. There's plenty in there that are just, they just like their Xboxes, just like people like their Fords or whatever. And they're like, man, watching this company sort of just tear itself down in the name of, short-term profit with this idea of maybe a long-term strategy that doesn't involve catering to me, who's been propping up this company for 25 years now. It feels bad, I bet. Yeah. And, Phil Spencer and that team, they're paid a lot of money to go out there and say this bullshit. And they're paid a lot of money to, like, that's what the money's for, is to be able to withstand us saying, man, you guys kind of suck. And the way this is going down kind of sucks. And it shouldn't be this way. There is clearly a pathway toward Xbox making real video games and believing in video games is the answer, and that's over with now. And kind of we have to lay the blame at someone's feet, and it's the people at the top there.
It's astounding, Grub, that I feel like when Xbox first launched, it had such a distinct identity of not quite being punk, but kind of being like, oh, we're the cool alternative kids. We sit in the middle of the classroom. We don't sit in the back, and we got more power. And now they've kind of become like the uppity polo-wearing kids in class that you want to ignore, and you don't listen to them while they talk. And they kind of just do nothing during group work.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we should take a break. There's plenty of more to get into, including, hey, the future of Halo still is in question. Let's see what they're going to do with that. We'll talk about it after this break. If you want to skip out on this, there's an ad-free version of the audio show. It's for premium listeners. There's an ad-free version of the video show for premium subscribers. Go ahead and grab that. In the meantime, though, we'll be right back. All right, let's get into it with the new headline here. Janet Choa, Jeff Grubb, Game Mess Mornings, and Virtuos is currently working on a remake of Halo Combat Evolved, according to rumor. This is from Jonas Mackey at Game Reactor. For years, there have been rumors that a remake of Halo Combat Evolved is in the works. A remaster of the original was released in time for its 10th anniversary in 2011. And the next series, the series will next celebrate its 25th anniversary here in a couple of years, right? Next year, right? Which is sure to be recognized. Now, another rumor has surfaced, and we are also learning more about the possible developer of the as yet unconfirmed project. Halo insider Mr. Rebs claims to have heard that Virtuos, which recently did a good job with the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remastered, is involved in development under the leadership of Halo Studios. The graphics engine used is said to be some kind of hybrid solution, just like the aforementioned Oblivion. So it would involve Unreal Engine 5 visuals on top of whatever the original Halo engine would have been. I could see this, although I do, like, we were just talking about this with Lexi, and it's definitely something I heard. Microsoft, in the latest round of layoffs, when they fired an army of people, they also canceled a lot of third-party contracts for projects similar to this one. And then we heard Virtuos had to lay people off because those contracts were either not going to get followed up on, or they were not going to get a renewed contract to do a similar thing. So it's like, I wonder if this is something that was happening and then got canceled. But Halo is something that, of course, Microsoft probably still does want to figure out. So if they, had to put, a bunch of stuff in the canceled bucket and one in, like, well, let's keep trying this one. Maybe this one found its way over that way. I guess I was gonna say I don't see like what they're gonna do here, but I guess I kind of do. You want to do the thing where it's actually similar to what happened with Oblivion, where it's like, okay, we got to figure out the future of Elder Scrolls. Maybe that involves a different visual style, and we should get used to maybe using something like Unreal Engine. So let's do a remake that gives us a chance to get caught up and test those ideas. And now that could set us up for the future. Maybe, who knows if that's actually going to work, but maybe they're going to try something similar here where it's like, hey, let's start making at least a part of Halo in Unreal Engine 5. And the good way to get learned on that is to do a remake, something that we've done before. And also, that's kind of a slam dunk. People love Combat Evolved, and we could put that on PlayStation 5. We could put it out on Switch 2 and make a lot of money. So I see why, if they didn't cancel, I see why they wouldn't. They probably do have to figure out Halo, and this feels like a fair enough strategy. It's just like, God, I'm not in the mood, Jan, personally.
Yeah, Grub. I forget who had said this on the site this week. It may have been you. Could have been Lexi, actually. Where Xbox forgot that they make games. And it seems like if you are in the console market and you are a publisher, that is a very big, important thing to have. And I don't know, we talk a lot about game preservation on the website through different various means, but I also think of an IP being so mishandled by their parent company that's just upsetting. Poor John Halo. He showed Yeeks on that one Paramount Plus show, and then ever since then, it's been a fall.
Apparently that show hit Netflix, and it's doing very well on there or something.
Cool, great,
yeah, good for them.
But it just sucks, Grub, because Halo just seems such a layup. There's still that name recognition, the brand recognition of Halo. There are tons of people in our demographic, slightly younger demographics, slightly older demographics that would care if there was a good Combat Evolved remaster, or even perhaps another Halo game that was kind of, for lack of better terms, back to basics and wasn't like Halo Infinite. If there was just something more linear, a bunch of set pieces, you get John Halo, you end the game by riding away on a warthog. I think people would eat that up, and it seems like Microsoft does not want to serve that dish anymore.
Yeah, right. I mean, I do think that this speaks to them not really knowing where to take Halo. And so it's like, retreat back to the very basics of remaking the first game again. But maybe you do have to rebuild Halo from the ground up. Because it's not like you can put out, you can't, if you announced a brand new Halo today, I think you would get crickets from a younger audience. They just would be like, is you going to put them in Fortnite? Maybe we'll care then. But until then, we just do not care. And it's like, okay, you're really going to spend all that money and spend all that time to do something that a younger audience doesn't care at all about, and maybe you have to fight that battle to force them to care, and then you have to kind of turn Halo into something else that maybe the current audience doesn't really want. That's challenging. So maybe you do something that is slightly more affordable, which is remake the first one. And if it's just so good that people can't ignore it, maybe it just has word of mouth and pops off in that way. And you can kind of slowly figure out what the future of Halo can be in that direction. But that's also still going to be very challenging to sort of navigate those waters. And so it's not like I have a lot of faith in this leading to a grand new future for Halo. And I'm not even necessarily out there clamoring for that. I liked Halo Infinite quite a bit. But if that game didn't work, that's kind of the one I wanted. I thought that was a lot of fun in just about every regard, single player and multiplayer. If that's not working, what else you got? I don't really believe you're going to have anything else.
Here's my insane take of the week, Grub. I think Metroid Prime 4 will be the best Halo game we've gotten in a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, it will at least have the look of a really excellent sci-fi game with a main character in a mech suit kind of thing, or I guess a exoskeleton sort of thing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Toasty Guy from the Mortal Kombat series leaves NetherRealm Studios after over 3 decades. This is from Jonas Mackey at Game Reactor. It's not unusual for people to change jobs in the gaming industry, and having developers with at least 5 or 6 studios on their resume is commonplace. That's why we rarely report on it, except when it's someone is particularly well known, and audio directors are among the roles we write very little about. But then again, not all audio directors have worked at the same place for over 30 years and helped shape one of the world's most famous game series. Dan Forden has, having been involved in the development of Mortal Kombat since the first game in 1992. He has also appeared in the game himself, popping up on screen in Part 2 and later to shout "Toasty" during matches. However, PC Gamer now reports that Forden has announced his departure from NetherRealm Studios via Instagram, where he writes, "Wednesday was my last day at NetherRealm. We made a lot of fun stuff over the years. I'm really proud of what we accomplished, as well as how much fun we had making that stuff. There are so many smart, talented people there. Look for more great things to emerge over the next several years." We don't know what he'll be doing next, but according to Wikipedia, Forden is 62 years old, so it may simply be that he now feels it's time to retire. Either way, we wish him the best of luck. Yeah, likewise. That's a hell of a run, man. 1992 to 2025. Ooh. In 1992, you couldn't even imagine the year 2025. And the guy worked the same place for that long, and iconic as the Toasty guy. Yeah, this is real nice to see that he did his job. He stuck around. They kept him the entire time. I guess maybe it's a bit unfortunate that is so remarkable that someone worked at one video game studio for north of 30 years, but still, shout outs to him and to NetherRealm.
Yeah, Grub, it kind of sucks that there aren't as many stories like this, but congrats to Dan for being able to ride through the ups and downs of NetherRealm and the different iterations of Mortal Kombat throughout the years. I can't think of too many other examples of this for one person to work that long at a studio. And I don't know, it's seemingly be happy at the studio as well.
Yep.
But congrats. That's a huge thing. That guy worked at NetherRealm for as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, I think that Toasty moment was like, I don't know, it clicked something in my brain of like, oh man, people make video games and they look like they're just having fun, and they're like, let's throw. And I guess I knew instantly. It's like, oh, that's a guy that worked on the game. Mm-hmm. I didn't, I saw it in the arcade. I didn't have any context, but you could just tell. It's like, oh, no, that's just some dude who does something on the game. I don't know what he does. Apparently, it was sound design. But he just like, let's go throw this fun little thing in there and kind of remind people, hey, we're making this game for you, and we're all here having a good time as well, and that's what makes this game so fun. And just since then, it's been like, yeah, that's the energy I want from a video game is cool people who are goofing off, and in their time when they're like, let's get serious, they're gonna just make something that reflects that goofiness.
Our Dan in chat is chiming in. Those guys were always great at that, unlocking devs in NBA Jam and stuff like that. They were the first devs I recognized. I think game devs should treat themselves like the stars that they are. Y'all should give yourself
like a
flowers.
Band. Yeah,
exactly. Like, you guys are sick as hell. No one, everyone underestimates the amount of work y'all do. Put yourself in the fucking game. I don't care. Do it. I want to see y'all in the game, whether it's a poster or whatever. Y'all deserve the shine. Y'all deserve the flowers for the insane amount of work and other bull crap you got to deal with.
Yeah, you could still hire Ben Starr to do like the main voice, but maybe some of those NPCs should go back to being game developers. Like that, I love that stuff. So yeah, let's make it happen. A couple super chats came in. Phantom23 says, "Distraction. Power Wash Simulator 2 has gone gold." Okay, that's fun. Man, that game is coming in fast. I don't know, something about that felt like it would still be ways away, but it's not. And then Burrito says, I'm behind on the stream, but that suspenseful hello from Jan is what we need to kick off October.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so let's see here. A couple more headlines. Street Fighter 6 director says he was shocked at Capcom's decision to charge fans $40 to watch the tournament's final streams. This is from Chris Scullion at VGC. The director of Street Fighter 6 says he was shocked to discover that Capcom would be charging $40 for the tournament finals. It was announced during last week's Tokyo Game Show that the finals for Capcom Cup 12 and the Street Fighter League World Championship would be streaming live via pay-per-view. Fans who wanted to watch the tournament finals online will have to pay 4,000 yen, or about $27, to watch the Capcom Cup 12 finals on March 14th, and another 4,000 yen, or about $27, to watch the SFL World Championship on March 15th. Alternatively, a bundle is available for $40 that allows them to watch both finals. The announcement was met with backlash from Street Fighter fans angry that they were being charged up to $40 to stream an event that should be bringing the community together, especially when merchandise for such an event is often sold at the revenue and online. Street Fighter VI director Takayuki Nakayama has now revealed on Twitter that he had no idea about the decision to charge players to watch the streams, and that he and producer Shuhei Matsumoto both found out about it while they were at Tokyo Game Show itself. Replying to a follower who asked whether he thought it was strange that Capcom's esports division and development teams were seemingly so disconnected on such matters, Nakayama replied, "It may sound strange, but it's true." He added, revenue targets and assigned tasks differ fundamentally by department. Even the development team was surprised by this announcement, at least Matsumoto and I were shocked at the venue. That said, since the matter occurred within the same company, we are currently discussing it. We apologize for any concern this may have caused. Yeah, I mean, this definitely feels like one of those things that's like someone who's in charge of esports at the company is like, hey, we gotta justify our jobs. We gotta make some revenue. What can we do? And the people who make the game, who obviously would want as many people watching as possible, right? Like they make money. Their job is to make a game that makes money, not an esports event that makes money. And they're doing just fine on that front when it comes to Street Fighter 6, which has been very solid and much more well received overall and consistently than Street Fighter 5. So it's like they are clearly doing their job. They would want everyone possible to watch this because that just drums up more excitement for the video game. I think this does go back to like the fundamental disconnect between like a company that makes a video game product to be sold and then that company trying to make an esports branch that makes its own money. It's like, no, let's be real. Esports is marketing for the game. You probably shouldn't forget that. And it does seem like they forgot it here. This is a weird one, right, Jan?
Oh, very weird one, Grub. Especially when I feel like, from my experience operating on the periphery of the FGC, it's always been a very welcoming and like tight community with each other. And to suddenly gate the finals of one of their own specific big events seems really, really dumb. I haven't watched any of the Street Fighter League, but I'm going to assume if it's similar to EVO, there are a bunch of ads plastered everywhere. So they are already making some money back, some return back on even putting the event on and streaming it to begin with. Grub, I think this also kind of ties into my own feelings about pay-per-views and premium live events, where I think it's an archaic model that doesn't make sense anymore.
It's weird. It's
so weird. Like, I don't think it's cool for me to open up HBO Max, the one to watch for HBO Max, and see an AEW pay-per-view, and then now I have the option to pay an additional $30 on top of what I'm already paying to watch a pay-per-view. And then same thing with WWE events on wherever the hell they're streaming now. It is an extra hoop to go through that I am less willing to go through these days.
Yeah, and it's Sean points out that there's $1 million prize pool for this game, and someone probably at Capcom's like, oh God, we got to find a way to pay for that. Oh my God. There was a model for this, and Sean, feel free to jump in or say it in chat or whatever if this would make sense for Street Fighter. But like the way Dota did it, right, was like you could watch the Dota Esports World Championships for free. Yeah. But if you watch them inside of the game, you could also buy like a battle pass equivalent that would unlock more cosmetics and stuff for you as you were watching it. And then maybe you had to play the game as well. But yeah, like Capcom could do that. All these people that have esports that act as marketing for their game could do that, where it's like, let's sell a battle pass for people to view it inside of the game. And that way we know that they're engaged, and then that will get them excited to come back and play the game some more. And also, it's not charging them to watch it, but it's rewarding them for watching it by asking them for some money. And then we'll use that money to pay for the prize pool, and we'll take our cut. And the prize pool, actually, for the Dota thing, I think grew commensurate with how much people were spending on the battle pass. So the more battle passes that were sold, the higher the prize pool. And so that's why every year the prize pool was bigger one year after another. I'm sure it's not that way anymore, but for many years it was. What's wrong with that? Just do that. Why wouldn't that work?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think esports may not work, Grub, the way that they're framing it and positioning
it doesn't work when the companies own it.
Yes.
It certainly doesn't work when the companies own it, because it's just so like at odds with their core business. Sean's here. Sean, again, give us some more insight here,
please.
Yeah, this is weird because it seems like Capcom kind of just doesn't know how to monetize the esports events that they want to put on.
Yeah.
I think Japan in general doesn't quite understand monetizing this kind of thing. Remember, they're still a little behind when it comes to streaming and stuff like that, still figuring some of that stuff out. There are things that Capcom could do that would make a lot of sense that they aren't capitalizing on. Remember, there's the Battle Hub in Street Fighter 6. Everyone assumed that would be the way to watch big Street Fighter events. You get together with your friends, maybe you hop on a Discord call too. They get together in the Battle Hub and you watch it live. And that's a way to get the community more engaged. But it feels like they're trying to figure out how to squeeze the most money possible out of it, especially with Street Fighter being really big in Japan right now and pay-per-view events being a little more common over there. Feels like them going to that old business model of, hey, we can charge X amount for a live stream because this is established, rather than going for the more Western model like you would see Valve do with something like Dota and stuff.
Right.
Even though they have dabbled with that in the past, like Street Fighter 5 had some costumes that did go towards like the Capcom Cup prize pool and stuff. So there's some weirdness going on over there right now. I feel like there's maybe they brought in some new people on the business side who don't quite understand stuff in relation to how this is all working. They don't know how it's been done in the past and stuff. But there are good ways to do it. I always think of Killer Instinct did this great thing where they made a Shadow Jago, who's just like a boss character. They made him a real character, and they were like, hey, we're going to charge like $6 for this. And like, you know, the prize money goes towards the Killer Instinct Cup and everything like that. And they just like sold like 100,000 copies instantly because people showed up for that kind of thing. So Capcom should really be leaning into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think this is one where it's like, oh, they just didn't even know that they were stepping on a rake because I think you're right. They were just disconnected from the reality on the ground of how people were going to feel about this. So, you know, Street Fighter, it's not like this is going to like hurt like Street Fighter 6 in that community all that much. So they'll have another opportunity to like come up with a different idea, but they probably don't do anything like this ever again, right? Especially the director of the games or the games directors out there basically bashing this idea. It's not something they're going to be able to return to, you think, right?
Yeah, and the director and the producer of this game, they are very in tune with the community.
Yeah, it seems like.
Nakayama and Matsumoto, who I've had a chance to interview Matsumoto, and just like talking with these guys, I know that like they get it. They are in tune with the community. So something else is happening somewhere in the chain that's sort of putting a stop to this. I don't know. Capcom has done a variety of slightly weird things lately, you know, like Monster Hunter Wilds not being great as well in a variety of ways. It feels like something's going on over there, and I really hope they right the ship because, yeah, this is kind of just, if nothing else, it's a bit of a bad look overall.
Oh, thanks, Sean. We're going to move on to Famitsu sales highlights from the last week. We used to do this a little bit more often. I haven't done it recently, but when there's a big game that we're kind of like seeing like, oh, how's it doing? And we have that this week with Silent Hill F. We're going to check out how games are selling in Japan. And Silent Hill F, according to Famitsu, which tracks retail sales, so these are physical sales, it did 57,475 units. So it debuted at number 1. I went back and checked, and that's about double what Silent Hill 2 did in Japan, the remake last year. So, Jan, that's just straight up growth. And you know, I'm sure Silent Hill 2 probably gets a lot of the credit there, where it's like people were maybe a little bit hesitant about that Silent Hill 2 remake, and then it got good word of mouth, had good legs. But that positive experience has paid off here, and now people are also really liking this game as well. I'm sure it helped it got good reviews. But yes, Silent Hill F sort of just showing that Konami on the right path, right?
Take that, online chuds, you fucking dumbasses.
Just weirdos. Yeah, they really didn't get any traction with that one.
But Silent Hill F, again, I spoke about this on the podcast earlier this week. Backlar spoke about it last week. Very, very good game. Appropriately timed for spooky season. And I am super jazzed, Grub, for the Silent Hill heads out there to get a good game for once.
And that is, the PS5 game, the PS5 version of that game on top of the chart. The rest of the chart, a lot of Switch games. Switch 2 still very dominant in Japan. Switch 2 is already at 2 million units sold in that country year to date. Obviously it's only been out this year, so lifetime sales, it's at 2.1 million. To put it in context, the PS5, I think that's all versions of the PS5, is at just over 7 million. So already the Switch 2 at 2 million, PS5 after 5 years, almost going up on 6 years now, is at 7 million. So that's about a little bit over 1 million per year. Switch in a handful of months is at 2 million in its first year, likely to sell even more next year. So yeah, the Switch 1 is at 36 million units sold in Japan. So it's on that pathway. Other games, Mario Kart World is at 1.8 million total, and it sold another 35,000 units last week. So continues to just dominate Mario Kart World, picking up where Mario Kart 8 left off. And let's see if there's anything else worth bringing up on here. Is that it? Yeah, the new game, Atelier. Man, why do they name games this way? Atelier Wrestleriana? Wrestleriana. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. The Red Alchemist and the White Guardian.
Okay.
That's
all right.
That's
all
Koei
right,
Tecmo.
all right. I don't want to. Grub, I'm sorry. I'm just done with the white savior trope. Okay, I don't need a white guardian now.
You got the white savior, got a white guardian, but we also have a red alchemist. Okay, that's some variety, some diversity. I know Michael hates that; he wants to overcome it, but here we got it. 10,000 units sold, and that's for Switch. So there you go. All right, kind of just wanted to check out on Silent Hill F there. I think we'll probably hear from Matt next week, Matt Piscatella, about the Circana US report, and we'll get some word on that. I bet that game does surprisingly well in the United States.
I think so.
But we'll have to wait and see. And I think that'll be actually one of the standout games for these last few weeks. And then I continue to be very curious about where Borderlands 4 is going to end up, and even Ghost of Yotei. I think Ghost of Yotei is going to do fine in a lot of places. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering. It probably has to do fine, right? Because it's the game for the console that people spent the $500 or more on. It's at a certain point, it feels like you're hostage to you have to get this game. Why else get this console if you're not going to play a Ghost of Yotei, right?
Right. I mean, if you were buying a Switch 2, you were probably going to get Mario Kart World or Donkey Kong Bonanza.
And people did, yeah.
And if you've had a PS5 for X amount of years now, this is the one thing that's going to come out on it, and just it. So yeah, probably, Grub. I mean, it's gorgeous as well. It's a fantastic looking game.
Boy. Yes, it is.
And I don't know, it's kind of sick as hell to see Erika Ishii voice the main character. And then I guess I didn't realize how much they just based the design off of her, because it's
just her.
It's just her.
Yeah, and that rules, actually. It's I mean, she's a beautiful person, and then also just an incredible actor, and a good choice on their part, because it's that really worked for this character for sure.
Erika Ishii, let's get you on the dump truck, please.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I would love that. Last little tidbit from these Famitsu numbers. PS5 Pro is at 250,000 units sold in Japan, compared to the PS5, which is at 5.8 million, and the PS5 Digital Edition, which is at another 1 million. So it's God, that's less than 5% of the PlayStation 5's total sales are the Pro. I think the Pro for the PS4 ended up somewhere around 10%, maybe 12%, in that range. And that's at the end of the generation. Maybe the PS5 Pro will continue to sell better. But I think the thing that happened with the PS4 was, the PS4 base version kept selling better than the PS4 Pro. And I would expect the same to be true here, because money, it's a huge difference in cost. So that just does not seem like the Pro has found its footing, really. And maybe that's again, I think it's a long-term play. I think it's something where it's they will have the PS5 Pro around for a long time into the PS6 generation.
When the PS4 Pro came out, Grub, I felt like there was definitely a need for it, because my base PS4 just sounded like it was a jet engine failing to take off. At least for me, it just never felt like I needed a PS5 Pro, and it just felt like it was more marketing rather than an actual necessity. Because I went to a PS5 Pro event in person, and the games look better, but they don't look that much better. That I feel like I need this right now. And especially with the prices going up, Grub, I definitely cannot justify that.
Yep, I agree. And it's I think that maybe that's changed just a little bit with Yote, where it's like apparently Yote looks phenomenal on the PS5 Pro, noticeably better. Like I guess PS5 Pro versions have always been noticeable, so maybe it's a bit more than that. And it's like, you get a couple more like that, and I'm always considering the PS5 Pro. I'm stupid. I know I don't need it, but I like to buy shiny new things. So it's like they kind of already have me on the hook a little bit. They just haven't reeled me in. Yote's beginning that process, maybe, but I'm also not like, I'm not making time for Yote. I said on the quick look, I will find time for Yote eventually, but I'm not making time for it now. There's too many other things I want to play first. If I get a break, Yote would be like the perfect game to just lose myself in for 2 weeks. I look forward to that. But because it's not in that like have to play now, it's also probably not the game that's going to get me to buy a PS5 Pro.
I think Minotti said this earlier this week, but it feels like the perfect holiday game, Grub.
Yeah, yes, I'm so with that, yeah.
And I don't want anyone to take that as a slight, but it feels like a game that you need to hunker down and spend time with rather than trying to cram it in amongst everything else that we're playing. And also, like, I don't know, the original Ghost of Tsushima, it didn't feel like a pick up and play type of game. It felt like, okay, let's hunker down with Jin. Let's figure out what we're going to do. Let's bask.
Can't get lost in.
Exactly. Let's bask in like this beautiful world they created. Oh, God. Yeah. After watching the quick look and you'll play it, I had the hunger for it. But then I remembered Hades 2 exists and all these other JRPGs that are like banging on my door. And then the Digimon came here.
The Digimon game, which speaking of which, Herman with the super chat, endurance run, Digimon story time stranger.
No. Guys, come on. You want an endurance run to actually be fun, okay? No matter.
That game got decent reviews, right?
Yeah, no, it's great.
I would come in, I would sit with you, and I would ask so many questions about Digimon.
Digimon gets so fucked up, Grub. Sean,
do they do it?
The surface. They may not do it, I think.
Okay.
But like the further a Digimon goes up in its Digivolution chain, the more human it looks. And like I don't want something that looked like a cute little chubby rabbit with bat ear wings to look like a sexy lady. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Well, no. Well, okay. All right. That does it for the headlines. We should catch up on the poll question from yesterday. How would you grade the Switch 2's launch year so far? Your options were A, B, C, D, or lower. 8% gave it an A. That's the lowest results by far. 12% gave it a D or lower. 35% gave it a C, and 45% gave it a B. And I gave it a B. I felt like maybe that was a little generous, but it's like I can't help that I just really like playing my Switch 2. So that's a big part of it. They delivered hardware that I like. And that's like in the first year, that does go a long way towards like putting you well above a passing grade. And then I think Mario Kart World is fine.
Yeah.
And then Donkey Kong Bonanza is excellent. I love that game. And then it's been a really good way to play some of the indie games, Hades 2 and Silksong specifically. And then I think the last piece of the pie for me is, and it's delivering better results for third-party big games like Star Wars Outlaws and Cyberpunk than I was expecting, and that's giving me hope for the future. So it's like, okay, I would probably put it at like a B minus. So yeah, 45% putting a B on here. I'm maybe not too surprised. It's clearly not the like Switch 1 first year with Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But what is relative to a lot of other first like launch years, this one is, it's up there. It is above average for sure.
Yeah, I think it is a solid B for me as well, Grub. Less so because of the first party stuff, but now and folks, I have a Steam Deck, but that thing is just so dang heavy all the time, and I've dropped that thing on my face multiple times. So got a little bit of PTSD. But the Switch 2 is just like a little lighter. And like you said, Grub, it's a good place to play Silksong. Fantastic place to play Hades too. But also Apologies, folks, for not being able to get the Tactics Quick Look out this week. Capture cards be damned. But I have put in more hours into Final Fantasy Tactics on the Switch 2 version. It runs fantastic.
It's great on there.
It is, it's not the most demanding game by any means, but it is a fantastic place to play Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. If you're on the fence of where to get it and you have a Switch 2, I would definitely get it on the Switch 2, gang.
I agree. Yeah, no, I think it's the way to play that game for sure. It's one of those games you definitely just want to have with you, for sure. And then we're talking about so far for the Switch 2's launch year, Switch 2's launch year. It does still have Metroid. It does still have Pokemon coming. And I'm pretty hopeful for that Pokemon Legends game. I think that maybe, I know, Jan, I know you roll your eyes, but I think there's a chance that they get me with this one. There's with his headphones. There's some other shit as well. It's I think there's still plenty to come for the Switch 2 to keep people feeling pretty good about that console. All right. We will have a new poll question on next week's show. Not one this week because we're going to do the Bomb 12 here in a second. Before we do that, we should probably go over what we're doing for the rest of today. We'll take a little bit of a break. Although I might try to finish up baby steps. I did complete the Man Breaker, everybody.
We got to record ads. I'm sorry. You can't
that's
do
right.
baby
No,
steps.
that's right. Okay, that's right. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll come back at, did we say we're going to start at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m.?
We'll
2 p.m., right?
Yeah, we'll announce it.
Okay, yeah, so we're going to start around later this afternoon with UPF, and we are going to play King of Meat, which is a multiplayer party platforming game, and then Lego Party. We're doing that. We're doing it in that order, so Bacalar can show up for Lego Party and hang out with us. It's time we get some Bacalar and some content this week, and I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, we'll be back with normal stuff next week for the most part. Other than Golf Week, everybody. That's right. It's Golf Week. You can expect stuff like Pebble Beach on Monday mornings Missed with Mitch, which is the game that is the same engine as Virtual Highlight. You can expect Mario Golf. You can expect Golf with Friends. With a Nintendo Switch Sports Golf. There's a new VR golfing game for the Quest that is like an AR golfing game that puts golf courses in your house. I might stream some of that.
Okay.
Kirby's Dream Course. Yeah, Kirby's Dream Course. I'll play that before a Game S Mornings one day. Maybe try to go do a little tournament style thing. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be merch that is phenomenal. It's gorgeous. Mike did a great job getting that all ready for us. He's going to model it for us as well, everybody. So look out for that. It's Golf Week time, everybody. Get excited.
Baby. It's for you. And hey, who knows, Grub? Maybe we'll go for you could go to a driving range. I could go to a driving range.
Yes.
We'll just pop onto a call and just stream that out, and I'll just play.
I might go to X Golf, the simulator, and do that. Yeah, the X Golf. That's right.
Who knows? Maybe we should do a Film in 40s for Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah. Okay. I've not seen it yet. Okay. I like these ideas. We're celebrating, everybody. All right, it's Golf Week. You should celebrate as well. Get your clubs out. Let's have a good time. All right, I think that does it. So that means it's time to wrap up the week with the Bomb 12. These are the 12 games that really matter to people who are really playing games. As always, tons of responses. I really appreciate everyone letting us know and wanting to have a say in the Bomb 12. We have the games right here, right now, starting with actually 2 games off the bat. Jan, I think I sent you some trailers there in the doc. Let's do number 12, Unfair Flips. Jan, have you seen this one?
Yes, I have, Grub. Everyone thinking, oh, I hope Jan doesn't see this. Oh, no.
I hope you don't see it.
I hope he hasn't heard of this. It's always too late, okay? It's the Timbaland song from 2009. It's too late to apologize, and it's too late to keep this from my eyeballs. I've seen it, Grub.
It looks like it looks like a Jane game, and you're just gonna get lost to it. I want to play it real bad too. So this is a game where you flip a coin and you're trying to get 10 heads in a row, but you start off and the coin is unfair and it only has a 20% chance to get heads. But then you can upgrade the coin by, for example, spending 1 penny, and you get a penny if it lands on heads, by spending 1 penny to increase your chances of getting heads by 5%. And there's a bunch of different things like that. Or you can spend a penny to increase the rate at which you can flip the coins. So you can flip a lot faster. It's an idle game, essentially, in a lot of ways. But boy, it looks real good. I love math. I don't like doing math. I love math being done for me in a video game. Let me get better math in a game. That's good stuff. Number 11 is the annual Ghost Town Pumpkin Festival. I think I got that name right. This is on itch. And I got a pumpkin carving game on itch a few years ago. And I think this might be like the successor to that, where it's about like, it's a seasonal game from the people that did a short hike. And you carve pumpkins and then you just go explore an autumn festival. Like, yeah, you can see it right here, everybody. Play with up to 200 players at once. We should do this. We absolutely need to do this.
Anyone out there that wants to celebrate autumnal delights with me, holler, please. Let's go drink some cider, carve some pumpkins, dress up as ghosts. Come on. I love these things in shoot life. I love going to a pumpkin festival and an autumn themed thing, falling leaves, apple cider, cinnamon donuts, all that stuff. I'll do it in a video game as well with 200 of my closest friends. Abby, I'm headed down now.
Go to a cider bill. Let's do it. Number 10 is Borderlands 4. Number 9, Trails in the Sky First Chapter. Number 8, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Number 7, Baby Steps. Number 6, Mega Bonk. Number 5, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Number 4, Ghost of Yotei. Just missing out on the top 3. Behind number 3, Silent Hill F, and that means number 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and number 1 still, and by a very wide margin, Hades 2. People are showing up for Hades 2. But the reality is, all these games sort of in the top 5 did very well. A lot of people playing everything from Final Fantasy Tactics onward. And then it's kind of like a jumble of games where it's like, okay, there's quite a big handful of people playing Baby Steps and Mega Bonk still. But yeah, Silent Hill F cracking its way into the top 3 above Ghost of Yotei. I think, part of that's always going to be release timing. Silent Hill F was available for a little bit longer than Ghost of Yotei, and that's just how it goes sometimes with these charts. So we'll see how things shake out next week. But yeah, regardless, that's where you want to be. Very few things are going to be able to come out and outdo the excitement for Hades and Silksong right now.
Grub, I know that the people, we're primarily asking our community for the Bomb 12, and shouts out to them for coming out and showing up in droves each week to vote on the Bomb 12. But I do want people to look at all of the games here and notice not a lot from big publishers here, right? Ghost of Yotei, Borderlands 4, maybe the only, or I had Donkey Kong Bonanza as well. But like in terms of coming from the big 3, not a lot of representation. This makes me happy that games are still well and alive. And hey, instead of paying $30 for a Game Pass Ultimate subscription, you can generally buy maybe 2 indie games for that price. So go support indie devs because like we were saying earlier, indie devs, fucking rock stars. Cool people.
They are cool people.
Lexi was saying earlier in this week, game development supports weird art sickos, and I am all for supporting weird art sickos.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that is, I think people want to show off their like cool little thing that they found. That's where you get the unfair flips. It's where you get the annual Ghost Town Pumpkin Festival stuff. I love that freaky shit showing up on here. I really do. And then, Baby Steps and Mega Bonk outdoing Borderlands 4. I think that's right. I'm happy to see that. Let's get some more of that for sure. This was a list that when we started the Bomb 12, Donkey Kong Bonanza dominated every week for week after week after week after week. It's still hanging in there.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it does feel like, okay, it's going to be Hades 2 and Silksong maybe for the rest of the year. We'll see. Metroid Prime 4 is yet to come. A handful, like, I was going to say Call of Duty, but that wouldn't happen with our audience. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. Battlefield 6 will probably actually pop off really hard on this list when it's out for real, which is really soon, right? Yeah.
I wonder though, Grub, if the news will affect Battlefield 6 at all, at least with our circle of the Bomb 12 here. I'm curious if folks will take that into account.
I think it probably will. You're probably right. Yes, I did say Expedition 33 would be on the list for the rest of the year. I don't know if I meant like without a break. Like it just missed the list this week, everybody. It was like right there. Honestly, like the math could get a little bit shaky because people will submit different title names for the games and things like that. It'll be like, oh, Expedition 33 or the full proper name. And when I'm doing the math, sometimes some of those other ones can get lost in the shuffle a little bit there. There's a chance it could be on the list again, but it will continue to pop off, especially as we get closer to the end of the year and it picks up Game of the Year buzz and things like that. People will go back and check it out for the third or fourth or fifth time, or the fifth wave, I guess, at this point. But yeah, we'll see.
Hey, Grub.
Lots of games right now.
Grub, this top 2 here looks like a good top 2 for the year.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's going to be pretty tough for anything else to sort of stand out compared to those two when we're having conversations about such things in December or whatever. All right, Bomb 12, we'll do another one next Friday to end next week. When we do, we're going to want to have your say. So I will put up a blog post on giantbomb.com about the results of this week's Bomb 12. Go to the bottom of that blog post. There will be a new link. There's a new form link every week. Don't use the old form links. You got to find the new form link, and then you submit your game. We'll get the results. We'll talk about it on the Bomb 12 then. Until then, though, Jana Choa, thank you for hanging out with me and talking about video games, man. I really appreciate it.
It's normally the best way to start a Thursday, but it's an even better way to start a Friday.
Yep, that's goddamn right. Thank you all for watching and listening. You're the best audience in gaming. Until next time, have a good one. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.
Why?